Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. I'm Sean. 5 nights a week we're streaming Baseball Inside MLB, the show 11 here on the PlayStation 2. We have 4 games for you today. We have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Detroit Tigers. The Reds are taking on the Royals. The Athletics are taking on the Astros. And the Rays are facing the Padres. Those are the 4 games. We have that AL-NL crossover with a lot of the matchups over the last week or so. I think we're getting more back into like AL versus AL teams, NL versus NL teams next month. So we'll see how that goes. It is May 29th, 2011, aka January 9th, 2026. Let's jump in to our first game today. View today's games. Cardinals and Tigers are going to lead us off. Cardinals might be a team that I need to kind of get out of our system here just because of the fact that they are not doing very well, even though they are first in pitching and second in defense. The Tigers are also surprisingly not great considering how strong they look as far as the rankings are concerned. As far as you get down that lineup and it just gets better. They're third overall, but just haven't been able to put it together. They're in a weird division where Cleveland leads. I don't know. It's odd. Still dealing with a little bit of sickness, so I might mute my microphone and turn my camera off here and there to take care of that whole annoyance. Mariners are a game and a half up on the Angels right now. But let's welcome you to Detroit, where the St. Louis Cardinals are taking on the Detroit Tigers. Cardinals are 17-31. The Detroit Tigers are 23-25 in a funky, crowded AL Central. We're definitely feeling better, but still not quite out of the woods. Here's your St. Louis Cardinals lineup. It is Dominic Brown, the designated hitter, will lead things off. Alex Rios in center. Hanley Ramirez at short. Aaron Hill at second. Alex Gordon is in left. Tyler Colvin is in right. David Ross at the catching position. Troy Gloss, Ross and Gloss at first base. Gloss is at first base. And Mark DeRosa is at third. As we await to find out who the starting pitcher is, we can take a quick peek because there is a college football playoff game happening right now. Oh my gosh. No matter who wins, Indiana or Oregon, I want them to win the championship. It is Indiana 35, Oregon 7. Interception return for a touchdown. Carl Pavano is 6-2 with a 3.47 ERA, 9 games, 23.1 innings, 31, 10, and 11 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Sounds like it came down to a fun finish in the Miami game yesterday, Miami Ole Miss game. I watched a little bit of it before I did the open mic. I need to text my brother about. Dominic Brown is batting .204 with 1 home run, 4 RBI, and a stolen base. So what is it? Rushing, passing. God, Fernando Mendoza, 10 for 11, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Dante Moore threw an interception immediately. Yikes. That is in for a strike. Gets that low inside corner. Welcome on in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out on this Friday night evening. I've already streamed today. Did a little Dragon Quest VII demo. That took a lot longer than I anticipated it would. They crammed that demo full of content. I was trying to figure out if it would be a good purchase for me. I kind of doubt it, but that's a beautiful pitch on the outside. Look at that location. Change up at 83 miles an hour with 4 inches of break. Just gets that outside edge, and that is strike 3. Alex Rios, 366 average, no home runs, 8 RBI, 2 stolen bases on the season for him. We'll see what he can do with 1 gone here in the top of the first. Ready shakes off the catcher and readies to fire the opening pitch of the at-bat. It is a strike on the inside. He looks like he wants that edge. All pitchers, I'm sure, want to pitch to the edge of the zone, but back-to-back pitches kind of right in that same spot. As he winds and fires the 0-1, he gets the swing and a pop-up straight back to the catcher who waits as it gets caught up in the wind and moves around a little bit and drops into the glove. Hanley Ramirez, 315 average, 3 home runs, 11 RBI, 7 stolen bases on the season for him. Two gone here in the top of the first. The righty winds and fires. That is low for a ball. Righty readies and falls behind a little bit more. 2-0. Trying to tease those edges but can't quite come up with the strikes. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's hit well foul. 2-1. Another pitch misses outside the zone. It's 3-1 with a couple gone here in the first. Gets the strike to fill up the count. It's a good pitch to lay off. Ramirez isn't going to do a whole lot with that. Best case scenario, it's ball 4. Worst case scenario, you still have another strike to work with, and you just saw a bad out with the previous batter. I'll take a hack at that one, and we'll see another payoff pitch. That is foul. Why are you not moving that on the desktop? What are you doing? Is everything broken? Why is my desktop broken? That is rolled right back up the middle. What is happening? I can't move things on my desktop. Why is that? I hit 2? No? No? You're not going to let me do what I want to do? God dang it. Stupid laptop. What are you doing? It's so annoying. It's just a symbol on the thing. Huh. Alright, well. Good afternoon to me, I guess. Fudge and fudge. Why does that say... There's a no sign on my... that I can see, but I can't seem to interact with anything. Thought about it? Appeal down to first, and he will say no. We've seen quite a string of appeals down to first or third base where all of it, like, all of a sudden... they keep calling a lot of strikes. This is so annoying. You're going to put the runner in motion. He will be in safe. That was almost so bad it was good. It was almost a brutal animation for the... What's it called? It's the St. Louis Cardinals. Big swing and a miss there. We've seen that throw be offline like that, and because the collision detection is really funky in this game, the ball literally gets caught by the covering... the person covering second base in their leg, and then it calls them out. It's very, very odd. Well, that's going to bug me. That is fouled away.
That ball's fouled.
2-2, a runner on second with 2 gone here. St. Louis looking for an early lead. That's outside for ball 3. Another full count. Second consecutive batter that's been able to work it to a full count. And that'll be rolled over. Shortstop makes a sliding stop. Fires over in time for out number 3. St. Louis picks up a hit but can't do anything with it. They pick up a hit and a stolen base. We'll get you ready with the Detroit Tigers lineup here in just a moment. Adam Everett is the shortstop. He will lead off. Then it's a big string of lefties. Ike Davis at first, Joe Mauer at catcher, Pedro Alvarez at third, Raul Ibanez in left field. Adam Jones is a right-handed center fielder. Before going right back to a lefty, the right fielder, Will Venable. Orlando Hudson at second, Matt Diaz is the designated hitter. Now live on my YouTube channel, May 29th of the MLB season. You are currently watching that. Bud Norris is 4-4 with a 5.48 ERA. 9 games, 23 innings, 26-6 and 24. That's a terrific 32-24, 32 hits/walks, and 24 strikeouts. I think even more specifically, you would look at that 24-6 strikeout to walk ratio. That is a good look. The problem is, there's probably a lot of hits given up. He only has a 4-4 record. That ERA is a little bit high, but I think that probably has more to do with the fact that it's just 3-inning games rather than him. You know, one blow-up start's going to be a lot worse in a 3-inning game than it would be in a 9. Well, I guess how long would you go in a blow-up start? You go 4 innings, so maybe not. That's rolled over. But, well, okay, so I guess then you would have to take that thought process a step further. You get the bad start. They could be comparable in a real-life Major League scenario, but you don't get those 6, 7, 8-inning one-run games to bring it down. It's still 3 innings of one-run ball rather than doubled, even triple that. So I think the thought process, I was kind of on track, but I needed to take it one step further. Wow, Detroit aggressive at the plate. That's a couple of swings in a row. 2 pitches. They've been able to get 2 outs. I know there was a pitch to that leadoff hitter that didn't really go anywhere, but just like that, there are 2 away. Joe Mauer with a .338 average, a couple of home runs, 8 RBI, and a stolen base. The righty fires that high. Mauer takes the ball, 1-0. That is low. 2-0 to Mauer. The 2006 World Series was between the Tigers and the Cardinals. Oh, okay. I wouldn't have known that off the top of my head. I remember a stretch where the Cardinals were really good. 3-0. Mauer's got to just hands off controller, let this happen. And that's why. That is a pitch that was well outside. I don't think he really wanted to pitch to Joe Mauer there. I can understand it's two-time cover athlete Joe Mauer, 93-mile-an-hour fastball way outside. Not really sure why they showed us that pitch track where they don't show us some of the other closer, more interesting calls. Pedro Alvarez. He's batting .277. The righty is ready and fires. That gets the outside strike. So now the Cardinals and Tigers in this inning have both put runners aboard with 2 outs. I can't imagine Detroit would send Mauer to second, but you never know with this game. That got a strike call as well. I thought that might have been just a touch outside, but no dice. Oh, and 2. Fouls that one away to stay alive. Probably a good defensive swing. Lines and fires. That is foul. Hard hit up the first base line, but foul the whole way. 0-2 gets him to swing on a pitch that was well outside the zone. That'll be out number 3 on strikes. Detroit works a walk to put a runner on first, but can't do anything with it. No scores. We head to the top of the second. Gordon, Colvin, and Ross coming up for the Cardinals. Boy, a lot of logos I'm looking at there, and I kind of forgot who was playing. I feel like St. Louis might be one of the lesser watched teams. But I could be wrong. I guess I could be taking stats on that. That is low for a ball. One and 0 coming from the righty. Here it comes. It is inside for a ball. 2-0. You can learn a little bit about. Let's learn a little more about the 2006 World Series. In the gets that outside corner for a strike. St. Louis won 4-1. That sounds about right. The Tigers, geez Louise, won 95 games. They went 95-67. The Cardinals, as this is smacked into right field for a single. The Cardinals went 83-78. Huh. A pair of battered ball clubs. Cardinals won 7-2. And they swept everything at home. Was there anything that was like... That one wasn't really... That was kind of a done... Go ahead run in the bottom of the 8th is exciting. That is smacked out to left, but the left fielder makes the running grab. They'll be out number 2. Okay, not that exciting. St. Louis 4, Detroit 1 in games. Righty winds and fires. That pitch misses low. It'll be 1-0. Runner on first. One out here in the top of the second. And that gets the top of the zone. Looked like that kind of high outside corner. 1-1. That's way outside for a ball. Good take. 2-1. Double play. The righty winds and fires. That's a strike on the inside. It's a nice location. So it looked like maybe kind of buckled the St. Louis Cardinals hitter a bit. Looked like a bad pitch, then just kind of got the corner. 2-2. Righty winds and fires. That is hit well out towards left field. Left fielder is chasing. The ball is going. It is gone. That one really carried. 2-run home run, St. Louis. Wow. That one felt like it got caught in a good little gust of wind. Just kept going. That left fielder out there for Detroit's been good today. He's made a couple nice running grabs, but obviously not going to get to that one as it gets into the stands, although he clears the bullpen. What was that? How many majestic feet was that? F full screen? 399 majestic feet, to be exact. Troy Glass comes up. Oh. Oh. Okay. 0-1. Here comes the wind and the pitch. That is in for a strike. 0-2. Quickly 0-2. Righty winds and fires. That one's going to jam him. Gets off the bad part of the bat, and it will be a routine catch for the first baseman. I will be right back here. That pitch is foul. The whole reason I realized that my desktop's all busted is because I was going to, when I muted my webcam, I was going to throw my profile picture up there. That way there wasn't just like a weird chunk of the screen just non-existent. But then for whatever reason I can't access my desktop photos. I don't know. Maybe I can pull it off that? Maybe? This is going to ruin everything. Let's see, where's that? That? It's a circle. It's a circle. It doesn't give me what I want. That is hit out past the diving third baseman into left field. It'll be a single for the Cardinals. They already have one run across, and they have two runs across, excuse me, and they will try to get back in business as quickly as possible. Oof, that is a big hero swing right there, looking to double the lead in just one pitch. Swung on and missed for strike one. 0-1. Tigers need just one more out here to try and get out of this. Top of the zone, I think, has been a little weird. We've seen a couple calls. One of them went against Mauer, or I guess went for Mauer. It feels like they're right at the letters, and they are over the plate. Umpire just maybe has it a little shorter than typical. Here comes a 1-1. That is swung on and missed. Here's the 1-2. Readies and fires. It's fouled away. And that's inside for a ball. Count is 2-2. Looking for just one more pitch to get out of this inning. Here it comes, and it is going to be hit up the middle. He couldn't get a hold of it. It's going to have to be a tight play. At first, he is safe. Oh, that is one of the few times that we have not seen the pitcher come up with it. The game is incredibly kind at times to the pitcher in giving them those outs, those like kind of funky plays that are right back to them. That one got past him, and it was such a slow roller. Wow. That is hit. That is crushed out to left and gone. 5-0 Cardinals. Wow. Oh my gosh, what a bad break for Detroit. What a horrible break for Detroit. I feel like we can count probably on one hand where the pitcher has not come up with those kinds of plays. And that is maybe the most brutal of them all, because this game really punishes a defense for not turning those plays. The runner was too fast going to second, so like the play wasn't going to happen there. And good hustle out of the box by the guy running up for the first base line to make sure that he didn't get out. And then they get rewarded with a monster shot. Oh my goodness. That's rolled over. That's going to get into center field. St. Louis had one of our highest scoring games. They may still have our highest scoring game. Where'd it go? Yeah, they scored 13 runs. We've only seen double digits 3 times. 13 once, 10 twice. Huh. I'll check on the runner. He is safe. Top of the second. Still, it's 5-0 as we see that swung on and missed. Oh and 1. That's outside for a ball. Here comes the wind, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 2. Yeah, it should be 1 and 2 now. Gosh, he needed just one pitch a couple of times to get out of this inning with just the 2-0 damage. That you can deal with that. 5-0 is a whole other game. That is swung on and missed, a pitch in the dirt. The Cardinals score 5 on 6 hits. They had 1 hit in the first. It'll be up to Ibanez, Jones, and Venable. They don't have to get all 5 back right now, but they are going to need one of the other kind of rarities in our season, which has been more than 1 run an inning for multiple innings. That doesn't happen a ton. We see 1 run back-to-back innings every so often. Not super common, but they'd have to come up with 2 or 3 here and then 3 or 4 in the next one to steal a win. That pitch misses inside for a ball. One and 0. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is hit right back up the middle. Hey, if they did it to you, you can do it to them. That one makes a little more sense that it would get by the pitcher. It was just that really slow roller. Felt like it should have been taken care of. Ibanez puts a good swing on that and gets things started correctly for the Tigers. 1 on with nobody out. Adam Jones, 1 home run, 5 RBI. He does have a stolen base this season. Jones patiently and smartly takes a ball low. Winds and fires. Gets it at the knees for a strike. Again, a good take by Jones. That location, the ending location, he wasn't going to get hold of that. And it looked kind of like it was going to be off the plate the whole way. It's a nice pitch by the righty for St. Louis. Probably caught a little bit more of the plate, but I think you're okay with it if they don't swing. That'll be hit past the diving third baseman. They'll just push the lead runner to second. Seemed like it was one of those, they have the new feature in MLB, the Show 25, where it'll show like diamond, green, yellow, red for the jump. That was a red jump. That was such a bad jump by the third baseman. And Lord knows we had plenty of bad jumps in left field with Randy Arozarena. You love him, but sometimes he does not see the ball very well. And Detroit, hey, doing what they need to do. 2 base hits. Just be patient. Chip away at it. One and 0. That's inside for a ball. Here comes the 2-0. It is, again, the high part of that zone, right by the letters. A little weird today. Looks like it's a little shorter than it normally is. It's the third pitch that we've seen kind of right on the line, and every one of them has been called a ball. Here comes a 3-0. Hands off controller here. Okay. With how he called the other stuff, I don't know about that one. With how he called the previous pitch, I don't know about that one. But he gives up the walk anyway. Nice patient at bat. The bases are loaded for Orlando Hudson. Nice average at 333. Only a solo home run. 2 RBI. I guess it could have been a 2-run home run. Either way, he has a nice opportunity here. Takes a nice pitch on the outside. Let that go, no problem. 0-1. Righty fires. That's a big swing and a miss there. Oh, and 2. Righty fires that one. It's fouled away. It's going to be right at the knees. That may be a touch aggressive on a swing, but I think it's probably okay overall. Tigers cannot come out of this empty-handed. They just can't. Right? They have to come up with something. Righty is going to fire that out to center field. They will send the runners from second and third. They will throw over to third, even though they'll be safe pretty easily. Okay, I'd say that's okay. It was a bit of a tough at-bat. He at least came away with something. I think a sacrifice fly is okay. It's double okay if you can still score that run from third base. You just can't have a double play here by St. Louis. Otherwise, that's just a brutal ending, but it's not necessarily his fault. Matt Diaz, 255 average, 1 home run, 6 RBI. Righty is ready. He'll wind and fire. That is going to be an awful result. He reached for the pitch across the zone and just popped out to first base in a horrible way. So now Detroit really needs to buckle down. I think they need to get at least a second run. Depending on the speed of the runner at first, maybe be aggressive with him. That's inside for a strike. But only if you know he's going to beat the throw. You don't want to put people in harm's way for... Ooh, that's... He's going to want that back. He is going to want that pitch back. 0-2. Fires inside and high for a ball. Here comes the righty. Fires that low for a ball. Good take. Here comes the 2-2. And that is going to be into center field. Okay. Okay, Detroit comes away with 2. I think that's okay. When you put a little context around it, you can start to make it sound really bad. Bases loaded with nobody out, but you're still coming away with 2 runs. You have a runner in scoring position here for Ike Davis. He's the tying run. He puts this out of the park. We're all knotted up at 5. That's a wild back and forth game. That's a fun one to watch. 2 gone. Oh my God, I kind of thought he did it. They will send the runner around third. Center fielder's up at the ball. He is throwing it home, and he is safe, even though he should have been out. That throw was actually good. Oh, my goodness. That throw beat him. As we take a look at it here, The throw is not accurate. It pulls him up the line. He should be out. But because of the way this game does the tagging, where it just kind of... It has an extra step. Every single time they have an extra step. He should have been out. Wow. Alright, I guess the Detroit Tigers get it back a little bit. So now Mauer represents the go-ahead run. As the righty winds and fires that low for a ball. This is too exciting. Need for Speed Underground? It's a good game. That was a very popular game on the PS2. That gets the low outside corner. Felt like one of the rare times where like a big publisher went and chased a trend and actually made it work. Like the trend of Fast and Furious. Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2 are well-remembered games. And I'm sure that they are copyright nightmares on for YouTube or streamers. Bottom of the second. 1 and 2 with 2 out, 2 on. Mauer is going to get a broken bat pop out. That is unfortunate for the Tigers. They had 2 outs in foul territory. The other out was a sacrifice fly, so that's a positive. They come up with 3 runs, but strand 2. Gordon, Colvin, and Ross coming up. Nice strike back inning for the Tigers. Oh, and they're going to go to the bullpen. I didn't anticipate that. Randy Choate. 17 games, 0-2 record, 3 saves, a 3.50 ERA, 18 innings, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts. Alex Gordon will step up. That is hit foul.
No, foul ball.
Foul ball, no. How many PS2 games do you have? Sky. Seems like you always have something going on. I mean, for the most part, PS2 would probably... Of those 3, PS2, I would guess, would be the cheapest to collect for. I would say common games, at least. I know the PS2 has some pretty expensive, like, higher-end titles. But I feel like the Xbox stuff... The original Xbox is like weird variants of things, like the best of greatest hits or platinum hits, Halos or whatever it is. There's like a couple funky ones. Nice play by the shortstop to try and cover it. Can't quite get there in time. Nice job by the runner to beat it up the line. And GameCube's just expensive as all get out because it has first-party Nintendo titles. And they hold different values to something like a first-party Nintendo title of Super Mario Sunshine, which is a good example because I have it, is $40 for the Player's Choice version. Whereas like a Sony first-party, it's like Ratchet and Clank for like 10. They will not be able to turn 2. They're not even going to be able to get 1. They're going to fire that near the dugout. They will throw it down to third, and he is safe. So a disastrous play for the Detroit Tigers defense. That should have been a nice routine play. But I think the speed of the runner kind of tricked the second baseman a little bit. Thought he had to get rid of it a tick sooner than he actually had to. David Ross is back up. He has a 2-run home run. All of St. Louis's runs have been scored via the long ball, a 2-run and a 3-run blast. That is a big curveball outside. I guess the question would then be, is the volume of the PS2 more expensive than the smaller scale, like more titles, but overall probably less, versus a higher value, but more, you know? How's that work? They thought about sending him home, but they turned around about halfway to home, back to third. Troy Gloss, 0 for 1. Say a bit of a missed opportunity there for St. Louis to put some more runs on the board. That is swung on and missed. He wanted all of it. Here comes the pitch from the lefty. It is inside for a ball. Just got here. Explaining quantity or quality. Kind of. I mean, not really. I was trying to figure out if the PS2 would be the cheapest. If PS2 would be the cheapest to collect for of the three, the Xbox, the GameCube, the PS2. Which of those three do you think would be the cheapest? That is launched out toward left field, and that is gone. A three-run blast, excuse me. Undoes all of the Tigers' work in the bottom of the second and reestablishes a 5-run St. Louis lead. And again, they have scored all of their run via the long ball. And so, my theory was the PS2 has a super large library. But if those prices are notably lower than anything on like the GameCube, would that still make it the cheapest? Or would it be the cheapest to get the GameCube, where you might pay the higher average, but it's a smaller thing? Because, like, okay, here, let's, we'll use the example that was in chat. Need for Speed Underground. We'll go to price charting. A site that I use all the time. Need for Speed Underground. Need for Speed Underground. For PlayStation is $15 CIB. For GameCube is $20. PS2 Slim brand new. $167. Hell yeah. So the GameCube version of Need for Speed Underground, complete in-box, is the most expensive. And then the Xbox and PlayStation 2 are basically even. Technically, the Xbox is a smidge cheaper at $14.97 versus a flat $15. That is low for a ball. I wonder what the most expensive... It's going to be like Rise of Rose or whatever that is. Sony first-party PS2 game is. But Nintendo's also... Their prices have come down for their first-party stuff as that's rolled over. They'll throw to second for 1. Can't get it back to first for 2. He'll be safe. St. Louis has had really good hustle up the lines. Kind of makes you wonder why they're as bad as they are. 14 games under 500. 1 for 2. Also, how was your day walk-off? Good to see you. I'll check on the runner at first. The pickoff is unsuccessful because it always is. That's inside for a ball. One and oh. 2 gone here in 8-3 games. St. Louis reestablished that lead. Detroit did a really nice job to pick up 3 runs. For those of you just joining. St. Louis scored 5 in the top of the second. Detroit responded with 3 of their own in the bottom of the second. And then St. Louis came back and scored 3 in the top of the third to reestablish that 5-run lead. Stressful day today. Glad to be chilling here. Well, we're glad to have you. Sorry the day was stressful. Okay. That's rolled over towards first base, and that is going to be, they're going to call that a fair ball. And that'll be out number 3. 8 runs on 9 hits for St. Louis. Detroit's going to have a little work to do, and Detroit gets bit by that error. They missed the throw to first and advanced those runners to second and third. Otherwise, you would have had 1 fewer run theoretically on the home run, and you would have been out of the inning just a little bit sooner with that extra out. Pedro Alvarez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. I got so locked in thinking about Need for Speed Underground that I forgot about the error. Error. Hey, Detroit does what they did in the first at-bat of the previous inning. They get a hit. They put a runner on immediately. They're going to need the biggest inning of the game. 6 runs to win. 5 runs to keep it going. Raul Ibanez is 1 for 1 with a single and a run. Batting .333 on the season. The righty is ready. Fires. That is outside for a ball. Oops. Oh. Why are you doing that, computer? Remember how I closed the notepad on the opposite side of the monitor? And you're like, nah, don't worry about it. We'll open it in the spot you didn't close it. Thanks. Thanks, computer. Proud of you today. Did you know? Does my computer know that I was looking at new models at Costco the other day? That is fouled away. Horrible. The righty winds, fires, and I just swung on and missed for strike 2. Two and 2. There's the pitch on the outside. Gets the swing and the miss. So Ibanez will be set down on strikes. Adam Jones is 1 for 1. He has a single and a run. That is a pitch that misses wildly low and inside. 1 and 0. Winds and fires. Gets the call at the knees for a strike. Makes it 1 and 1. They're going to put the runner in motion. He's going to take a hack at it, and it's going to be driven foul. That's foul. One and 2. And they're going to get another bat out in foul territory. That is 3 of the last 4 outs for Detroit have been in foul territory. That is just so bad. I'll check on the runner. He is safe. Righty fires, and that is going to be popped out. Ooh, a diving effort from the third baseman. Can't come up with it. And it is just a strike. 0-1. That is... Okay, he did not appeal down to third base. That was kind of a funky swing there. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Tigers down to their final strike, down by 5 here. And that's outside for a ball. Good eye. Righty readies. That'll be rolled over to the shortstop. He'll pick it up and go the short way to second for out number 3. Detroit tried to make it interesting, but some bad outs. 3 of those last 5 outs being in foul territory was really brutal for them, including I think it was a broken bat pop out by Joe Mauer as part of that. It'll be an 8-3 victory for St. Louis. Maybe not quite as dominant as you might think. They did have runners on the base paths in a consistent manner, but they only scored all 8 runs via the home run, so they were boom or bust. Troy Gloss is your player of the game, 1 for 2 with a 3-run blast himself. Bud Norris picks up the win to improve to 5-4. Carl Pavano, 6-3 after the loss. It was 2 3-run home runs and a 2-run shot. Gloss with his second, Rios with his first, and Ross with his second. 2-1-2. Oh, because it was in alphabetical order, wasn't it? Yeah, R-I-R-O. Gotcha. 8-3 your final there. Tigers get an error and a really bad break on a pitching animation, or I guess a lack of pitching animation that kind of doomed them. Otherwise, they would have been in a better position to at least tie the game. The Cubs beat the Blue Jays 6-0. We will head down to watch the Reds take on the Royals in Game 2 of our quadruple header. The Reds, the number 1 team. That might not be right. Something might be wrong with the rankings. Shocking. This game is broken. It might not know what to do with the fact that I have all of the pitching is wrong. They don't have any stamina. And then it's randomized, so I don't know, or fantasy drafted, so I don't know. Glaus rhymes with house. You are correct. Not that I've ever said you're wrong, but yes. Glaus. Welcome to Kansas City. Stadium has seen some adventures for us in the Mariners franchise, but I don't hate it. Cincinnati is 22-26. The Kansas City Royals are 27-21. Welcome to Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Grady Sizemore is the center fielder. Michael Young at third. Nelson Rad Cruz out in right. Ty Wigington at first. Logan Morrison's in left. Daniel Murphy's at second. Ryan Spielborz is at the designated hitter spot. J.P. Arancibia is the catcher. And Starlin Castro is the shortstop. As we are fighting, we're fighting for our lives over here. That was dramatic. Unnecessarily dramatic. Jake Arrieta, 7-2 with a 2.96 ERA. 9 games, 27.1 innings pitched, 29-5 and 23 hits, walks, and strikeouts. He's been one of the best pitchers all season long. Though he has picked up a couple losses. I believe we saw his first loss recently, and then he picked up a second one while we were away. That's kind of wild. Sizemore will get things led off for the Cincinnati Reds. As the righty gets ready, winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. One and oh. That is swung on and missed. One and one in the top of the first here. Just underway. It's an interesting design by the Royals. You see they have the powder blue, the baby blue, with the darker blue font on it, but for some reason white lettering and numbering on the back. Kinda gross. That is a foul ball at the first base line. That is a single into right field. Nice piece of contact there. Right fielder might not have been in a great spot or might have had a bit of a bad jump at it, but it's a good start for Cincinnati to get a hold of something the Arrieta's throwing. He's been so good this season. Feels like if he were to get into the second or third inning with a one-run lead, that's kind of it. So getting to him early might be the key here. Here's the first pitch to the next batter. It sails outside. Ball one. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. That's in the dirt. Nicely blocked by the catcher. Come on, sneeze. Oh, you're so close, please. No! It was there. I was going to sneeze. It was going to be great. It was going to feel so good. Oh, the sickness. Oh, it's the worst. Oh, dang it. There's the most heartbreaking thing you'll see all day. Almost got a sneeze, which would have felt nice because it keeps tickling my nose, but it doesn't happen. Now I look like my eye gets all watery. I look like I'm crying. I didn't sneeze. 3-1. A nice job to fight that one off. Again, the batter's just a little too aggressive at times. It's a good break for Cincinnati as they're able to drive that foul to fill the count rather than sometimes when you get those double plays or the really bad grounders just driven into the dirt. That's a pitch or a pickoff move that doesn't work. Here comes the full count pitch. It is going to be hit past the diving shortstop. They will advance the runner to second, the lead runner to second. And that will put 2 on. Nobody gone here. And an out with a full count against Jake Arrieta, who's been so good this year. Nelson Cruz. The righty. Ooh. Cruz, I think, wanted to take a hack at that one. He's a little late on the timing. Drives it foul at the first baseline. Good opportunity here for Cincinnati to maybe try and get on top early against Arrieta. Here comes the 1-1. Low for a ball. For me, when I need to sneeze, I look near the sun and it will make me sneeze. Too bad it's not out right now. They are going to send the runner down to third. He is out. That is such an unnecessary send. Why are you sending... Why are you sending a runner in that situation? That is awful. Sometimes looking at a bright light will help, but it's not 100% success rate. I'll go buy a locally powered sun. It's all good. We'll find one. We'll fund it. Full count here to Nelson Rad Cruz. He puts a good swing into that one, and that is going to drop. That should be a 2 RBI double. Instead, it will be an RBI double. Too aggressive on the base paths were the St. Louis Cardinals. There's just no reason. With nobody out, you're trying to steal third? It's horrible. It's a horrible decision. Ty Wigington stepping up, as I will BRB. Arrieta's definitely off of his game. That one's way outside, 1-0. St. Louis gets to him early. That's hit foul.
That's a foul ball.
Arrieta fires. That's going to get rolled into right field. Nelson Cruz. Oh, they're going to send him around. What on earth was the right fielder doing? What was that? That is inexcusably bad.
We got timeout.
I cannot believe this. Look at this little waltz. Look at him, Christoph waltz his way to the baseball. He is walking. He is straight up walking, and Nelson Cruz is like, oh, I can get a run? I'm going to bust my buns. That ball's barely into the infield. He is halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way home. That is awful. That is inexcusable. That is rolled into right field. He put a little more effort into it that time. As the throw goes into third, Arrieta cannot find the zone. He was undefeated, so he would have been 7-0 when we saw him. Then he had the staring at a light. Oh God, that was a bad plan. Help me. Then now he's 0-2 in his last two decisions. And he can't find the zone. Still can't find the zone. It is too late for me to take Dayquil, which I should have probably done an hour ago. But here we are. That is, he just gets the outside edge for, my glasses are falling apart now. Oh, God. What a bad Friday for me. A bad Friday. I took my glasses off before I decided to try and mute my camera, which is a horrible decision because I can't see without them. But my eye is bugged by the tears, and this sickness is so half-assed, and it's driving me crazy. Drive me crazy. I just can't win. Wait, win? What? Also, okay. All right, hold on. Oh, I still have my glasses off.
Counter's full, 3-2.
Nice pitch there for the strikeout. Camera's going to be off for a minute here while I deal with, I don't know, the 5th or 6th bloody nose that I've had today, so that's exciting. But my stupid desktop isn't working, so I can't even put my little profile picture as a placeholder. Careful too, you can sing songs. That's true. If I sing them good enough, That's true. That's true. I'll say, is that Justin Timberlake? I might be in sync, but I'm not sure. I have a little bit of a... I don't know if it's a blind spot, but I don't have the knowledge well for that. That is going to score a run. They will send another runner Another runner home, and Arrieta off to a horrendous start here. Cincinnati coming out swinging, and you really look at the fact that they sent him to steal third, and every run they score makes it look worse. If they came up with nothing, you would look at it and you'd be kind of like, okay, that's a little weird, but, you know, they didn't end up scoring anyway, or didn't really have much of an opportunity to. It's also not like it's deep in the innings where they don't have a whole lot of opportunities. I don't know. That's going to get in. Oh, they're going to send him around third. Nope, they're going to send him back. Sending him back. So it'll be Starlin Castro coming up to the dish. Oh my gosh, my eye. With 2 outs. That is hit well out to right center field. And the center fielder will come over to make the grab. Cincinnati scores 4 runs on 7 hits. We'll introduce you to the Royals lineup here in just a moment. Austin Jackson is the right-handed center fielder who will lead things off. Placido Polanco at third base. Mark Teixeira at first. Jeff Frazier is in right. Brian McCann's in at catcher. Alexi Ramirez at shortstop. Josh Willingham, left fielder. Neil Walker at second. Alex Gonzalez, a designated hitter. Now, if I sing it too good, win. Oh, yes, okay. That's true. When I hit every note perfectly. We know you got those golden vocals. Yeah, that's true. That'd be a fun goal to have. James McDonald, 3-4. A 3.46 ERA with 9 games, 26 innings, 24-4, and 19 hits, walks, and strikeouts. What's the song that you could sing well enough to get a copyright strike from YouTube? You sing it so good, you'd trick them. God, that Royals logo on the front of that jersey is so bad. The numbers on the front are white as well. Why wouldn't that just be in white? That doesn't make any sense. Alrighty. His first pitch is in for a strike. I'd like to see him be really aggressive here. The Cincinnati Reds pitcher. He won't because the game doesn't have any sort of... It doesn't seem to adjust based on anything, really. That is out toward left center field. That is going. It is going. It is off the warning track. And it'll be a stand-up double. So an excellent start for Kansas City to try and get back into this one. A lead-off double. Placido Polanco. He'll step up to the plate. That's outside for a ball. One and oh. That's fouled away. I don't know. Golden Years by David Bowie off the top of my head. I think it would be my best chance at trying to fool YouTube copyright. Okay. That is hit well out to left field. The runner is not trying all that hard. It is a fair ball. It is gone. 2 runs will score for the Kansas City Royals. I was kind of waiting for like a noise. His 100th career home run. Congratulations, Polanco. And we have a hit happy game here today. We had 11 combined runs in the first game. We already have 6 combined runs in this game. We're not even out of the first inning. Mark Teixeira, he can do some damage. We've seen it. That is inside for a ball. Teixeira shakes his head. He doesn't appreciate it. I wish I could sound like David Bowie. Indiana is crushing Oregon 42-15. So it'll be a brutal end of the season for the Ducks, and the Cinderella story for Indiana will continue into the national championship game next Monday. I don't think I had either of those teams. I think I had Oregon in the title. I don't remember who I had them against. And that is out to left center. That'll be caught for the out. Jeff Frazier will step in. 6 RBI with a 256 average. Bottom of the first. 4-2 Cincinnati. It's in for a strike. Oh, and 1. 1 out. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 42-15. Time for the greatest comeback of all time. Yeah. Here it goes. I continue to be surprised by Indiana. Every time where you kind of go like, okay, now they're undefeated. They're playing well. But surely this will be the team that gets them, or this will be the situation that gets them, and they go, no, it won't be. That one is hit sky high. It'll be caught by the catcher in foul territory. Takes a couple steps toward the line, makes it right on the chalk. And that is out number 2. So a good bounce back here for Cincinnati. They gave up the 2-run home run. Sure, it slices the lead in half. That's fine. You can work with it. Couple nice outs here, and you can try and maybe do what the Cardinals did in the last game. Try to reestablish that lead where you had it. Here comes the 1-0. That is a good sound off the bat, but driven foul. Here comes the 1-1. That is going. That might be out of here. It is. Oh, it is just gone. 2 home runs, 3 runs total. A 2-run and a solo shot makes it 4-3, and Alexi Ramirez steps to the plate. This game is giving us all the hits today. 4-3. Here's the pitch. Ooh, right back to the pitcher. That's an excellent way to bounce back. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Kansas City 3 runs on 3 hits. Cincinnati 4 runs on 7 hits. We'll head to the top of the second. It'll be Sizemore, Young, and Cruz as the lineup restarts in the second. Sizemore was 1 for 1. He tried to steal third and got thrown out. Otherwise, this lead could be just a little bit bigger, or maybe the complexion of the game changes a little bit. Who knows? That's inside. I mean, even if you assume the same result when he was on second, it's an RBI single or an RBI double. It should have been a 2 RBI double. Here comes the 1-0. That's outside for a ball. Two and 0. The righty winds and fires. That is in for a strike. Two one, rolled over foul. 2-2. That is hit out towards left field. The left fielder has a beat on it, reaches his glove up and out and makes the grab. So one gone, and a nice play out there in left. Michael Young 1 for 1 with a single. He came around to score a run. The righty winds and fires way high, way inside. Didn't quite get him, but it looked like it was close. It's inside for a ball. Two and 0. That is hit out toward left center field. Left fielder is chasing, center fielder's chasing. It's going to split him perfectly. Bounce into the stands for the automatic double. Nelson Cruz 1 for 1. He has a double and he's knocked in a run. See what he can do with a runner on second. The righty winds and fires. Ooh, gets the inside call. That's a strike. That's a bit of a surprising result. Cruz rolls over that one. Foul. Makes it 0-2. And they are going to get him on a third straight strike. Cruz doesn't love the call, but it looked like it was in that high inside corner. They're going to give us a look at the pitch track. It was a strike. 92-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Ty Wigginson's 1 for 1. Pitch is going to be smashed out towards right field. And the right fielder, wow. The right fielder for Kansas City is having a little bit of an adventure today. And that was almost another bit of an adventure. That animation is so brutal. Josh Willingham is leading things off. Just cannot stop. Here comes the righty's pitch. It's at the bottom of the zone for a strike. I had to think of what the umpire did there. Here comes the 0-1. That is hit up the first baseline, or third baseline, excuse me, fair. He's thought about the big turn to second, but turns back smartly. So Kansas City, hey, they did a good job to bounce back. They got 0. They got the goose egg up there. They put the leadoff runner aboard. Neil Walker steps up, 298 average. Walker takes a ball high, 1-0. That is hit foul. Ready, sets, and fires. It's blocked nicely by the catcher. Goodness gracious. That is, outside edge. Gets the call. Probably makes Nelson Cruz feel a little bit better. But it's 2-2 now. That is hit out towards left field. Left fielder's making an interesting jaunt at it. Makes the reach out catch. The runner will retreat back to first. That animation is so scary. It shouldn't probably be as scary as it is, but they miss it just enough chasing the ball down like that you're like, I don't know if they're going to get to it. That's out number 1. Oh my goodness, he wants that pitch back. That looked unbelievably juicy as it came in. He just got under it a little bit. Austin Jackson, a double and a run. That could have swung the game in the Royals' favor. That pitch was not in a good location at all. Now 2 gone with a runner on. That pitch is hit well up the third base line, but drifts foul, 0-1. That is outside for a ball. Bottom 2. And that is foul to make it 1-2. All right, we're back. We're back on camera. Sorry if you missed me. He'll put this into left, but the Royals can't come up with anything. A leadoff single. And 3 fly balls to left and center field. It says 4-3. It'll be Morrison, Murphy, and Spielborz coming up for the Reds. Logan Morrison, 1 for 1 with a single. Here's the pitch. Winds and fires. It's up the third base line foul. So a quiet second inning means that the game stays 4-3. Right fielder having an interesting day. Didn't even bother to charge that one at all. Just let that ball come to him, which I guess you can understand in some sense, but he may be playing a little out of position, just kind of not comfortable charging it in that spot. It is a 1-run game. I think you'd maybe just go, hey, look, this is a single. If I go for it and miss it, then it could be real bad. But his play earlier allowed Nelson Cruz to score. And that run could be the difference in the game. Because at least if you're able to hold him in third, if you come in with just a little bit more pace, you can try to get a double play to hold that run back. Here comes the 1-0 low. 2-0. That is inside for a ball. Pitcher is ready. Sets to fire the 3-0 right over the heart of the plate for A strike. It's a good take. It's a good just hands-off controller. Let it go. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, man, maybe could have swung at it. But you really don't want to be giving them an easy out like that. Especially when you're down by 1. So, go-ahead run is at the plate. Fouls that one off to make it a full count. Runner on first should be in motion. That's going to be inside, so it doesn't matter. And I don't even think they really put the runner in motion. Arrieta's been inconsistent today. Had a good top of the second inning. I think I said that Cincinnati was down there up by 1. I don't know what I'm talking about. Falling apart over here. Jim Johnson, 17 games with a 3-2 record. 3 saves, a 2.53 ERA, 10.2 innings pitched, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Ryan Spielborgs comes up, nobody out, 2 on. Looking to push this lead out. He'll foul that one off. Strike 1. Oh, boy. He got away with a bit of a curveball there. Here comes the 0-2. Misses outside for a ball. And oh no, is that going to be an out? It isn't! Oh no, it is not. Catcher didn't have enough time to really get set and comfortable back there. That'll fall harmlessly to the turf. And it'll be a strikeout either way. So nothing really different there. Whoa! Relief pitcher comes in. Get out of here! Go! Go, go, go! Top of the third. 1 away, 2 on. That is in for a strike. It's that outside edge. That's rolled over. It's going to stay fair. Throw up the line is late. It's safe. That might have been an opportunity for you to just try and let that roll foul. It's not really his fault. He took a charge at it. It was just such a slow roller. It's the perfect bunt, but it was a swinging bunt. Starlin Castro is 0 for 1. 315 average. No home runs, but 10 RBI. Righty winds and fires. That is foul. I guess everybody knew it because nobody moved. Here comes the pitch. That is foul up the opposite line. Oh and 2. That is swung on and missed, so a good job to bait the swing there. Foul for strike 1, foul for strike 2, and then, oh, beautiful pitch. That low inside corner. The swing timing normal. Four-seam at 94, just can't level it up. Grady Sizemore is 1 for 2. Nobody's going to go because it goes right behind the dish. They don't usually send him home from third in that situation. He already had the ball, so a bit of an editing error there. Or just the fact that it's a PlayStation 2 game. So I guess the pitch can get away from the catcher in two different spots. A bases loaded situation, which I don't think you'd really want, or nobody on and it doesn't affect anything. So bag's packed or bag's empty and nobody's doing nothing. Here comes the pitch. It is foul at the first base line. That is swung on. Foul up the first base line again. One and two. Wound in. That's a ball outside. No appeal. We've been willing to call strikes a little more frequently here. 2-2. That is rolled up the first base line. It's going to be fair. It took the runners off a little early. I was not expecting that. I guess maybe they didn't. There was something about that just kind of threw me off. The Royals keep it close. It's 4-3 heading to the bottom of the third. Polanco, Teixeira, and Frazier coming up. Trying to swing this game in their favor. All the action in the first inning. Otherwise, it's been goose eggs. That's rolled up the third base line and goes foul. That is upstairs for a ball. Here comes the pitch. Inside for a ball. Not what you want to see out of the pitcher for the Reds. You're up by 1. Maybe try to be a little more in the zone. Let your defense work behind you. Here comes the 2-1. That is rolled over. Second baseman comes up with it. Fires to first in time for out number 1. Mark Teixeira is 0 for 1 today. Big swing from him could tie the game. Bottom 3. Ooh, it's not going to tie the game, but it'll get over a third baseman who he gave it all. He gave it his all. We salute him, or we tip our cap to him. Nicely done. You weren't anywhere close to it, but sometimes you go like, but what if? What if all of a sudden I could jump 4 times higher than I ever have before? Inside for a ball. Kansas City does have a 2-run home run already in this game. Going to take a look at a 1-0 count here. That's a big swing. That's a pitch that he might have been able to get to, but a little anxious, really let it rip. Here comes the 1-1. That is hit and driven foul at the first baseline. One and two. That pitch does not come back down into the zone. Looked like a pitch that he wanted it to start low and kind of come back to like do that curveball, but it just never got back down. That is swung on and missed, so it'll be a strikeout for out number 2. That is a very long replay. Okay, wow. Really got all of it, huh? Brian McCann, 1-for-1 with a solo home run. That's right, Kansas City. All of Kansas City's runs have been scored via the long ball. Forgot about that. McCann takes a ball up high, 1-0. Tying runs at first, winning run at the dish. A man who already has gone yard today. Here comes a righty. Foul up the third base line. One and one. Low for a ball. 2-1. Pitcher winds and fires inside for a ball. Here comes a 3-1. It is hit to the right fielder who makes the grab, and that will retire the side and end the game. 4-3 your final. Everything scored in the first inning, and the Reds just kind of hung on for 2+ innings. They gave up 3 in the bottom of the first. Kansas City couldn't come up with a run unless it was out of the yard. Cincinnati 4, Kansas City 3. Your final here. In game number 2, Michael Young was 2 for 2, a double and a single. James McDonald, 4-4. After the win, Jake Arrieta falls to 7-3. I believe it's his third straight loss. McCann and Polanco, home runs 3 and 4, respectively. That will do it from Kansas City. Kansas City has 5 hits. Cincinnati gets 10, but can only score 4 runs. So Kansas City's defense came up pretty big at times there. Placido Polanco 1 for 2 with a 2-run blast. Let's jump to our next game. Nothing else to catch up on. It is an unfamiliar foe now, or at the time of this game's release, but it is a familiar foe now. Unfamiliar to familiar. It's the Athletics visiting the Houston Astros in game number 3. Don't forget, hey, if you want to help the channel out, free and easily, subscribe or give the video a thumbs up, ring the bell, do all that stuff. Something on the system end is running really poorly. And we have one of those weird days where we had, was it 11 total runs in the first game? And then we have a lot of total runs here in that second game. So the games are running a little bit long, even though they both finished in regulation. The Athletics are a game under 500 at 23-24. Houston duking it out in a crowded NL Central that I think is starting to get a little bit more separation as the season goes along. They are 27-20. See if I can... They just showed us the wild card. They are a half game out in the wild card race. Jacoby Ellsbury is the center fielder for the Athletics. They will lead things off. Vlad Guerrero is in right. Kevin Youkilis at third. Adam Lind at first. Hideki Matsui in left. Keela Hue. We're working on that one. He is a designated hitter. Clinton Barnes at shortstop. Jose Lopez at second. Brian Schneider is the catcher. See if we can get our pitcher here. And I have to disappear. Derek Lowe is 2-6 with a 5.47 ERA, 9 games, 24.2 innings pitched, 30, 10, and 7. That is awful. That is awful. Any way you slice it, it's real bad. Really, really bad. Ellsbury's going to get things let off for us here. There is a Ball that just misses. I mean, 30 hits to 7 strikeouts. That is so bad. And Houston's going to need him. They're out of the wild card spot. That's a diving effort in left field. We can't come up with it. It does bounce favorably for him. I think you like that dive with that result. It was going to be a single if he didn't dive. It was a single even though he did dive. Didn't come up with a catch. But he kept it in front of him. It is a very friendly bounce. Now make sure that it only results in a single. Vladimir Guerrero, senior, up to bat now. That is hit well, but driven foul. Top of the first. Just underway. Ooh, that's outside. We have Houston chanting at Vladimir Guerrero overrated. We saw that happen in Seattle. Vlad went opposite. He went oppo with a home run. Here comes the 1-1. It's low and outside for a ball. That pitch misses low. Three and one. That is going to be lifted into left field. No chance for the dive there, but still plays it nicely on the hop. The single advances the runner to second, and Guerrero is on board. I think it's a pitch that maybe Guerrero would want back. But I'm also assuming that the pitcher is like, hey, look, I'll take a single on a pitch that's in that bad of a location. It'll be up to Kevin Youkilis. See if he can drive anything in. They are going to put a runner in motion down to third. He is safe. He is safe at third. Wow. Mendoza is 17 for 20, 177 yards, 5 touchdowns against the Oregon Ducks. You know what? Go Indiana. Put me on the bandwagon. Either way, if it was Oregon or Indiana, that was who I wanted to win the championship, and it's, unfortunately, it has been a blowout. Two and one. That is low for a ball. Three and one. Here comes the wind and the pitch. It is going to be hit out towards center field. Is that going to give the third base runner an opportunity to get home? Yes, because this game is... I mean, it's not shocking, but it is like a little bit of a weird... There's like a weird hop throw that happens there, and then the relay didn't even get attempted. Not that it was going to be in time, so I guess you kind of look at it and go like, well, why try? So 1 out, it'll be a sacrifice fly. The steal comes in handy for the Oakland Athletics, who lead 1-0, and they send up Adam Lind, who takes a look at a strike on the outside. That is outside. They'll appeal down to third. He did not go. 2-1 after the ball. That's outside. Makes it, what, 3-1 now? So I said it was 2-1 plus 1 ball would be 3-1. Here's the wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Just gets that inside edge. Fills up the count at 3-2. The lead 56-15. My goodness. 3 minutes until the misery is over for the Ducks. Adam Lynn takes a look at a strike 3 call. And that'll bring up Hideki Matsui. 265 average. 3 home runs, 12 RBI on the season for him. That is on the outside. That is going to be lifted into left field. It's going to get close to that foul line, but it doesn't matter because it will be caught for the out. Oakland scores 1 on 2 hits. They get out to a good start, but they struggle after that. They score 1 thanks in part to the stolen base attempt going well for them. And we'll introduce you to Houston right now with Sean Figgins, third baseman for Houston. Go Mariners. Kosuke Fukudome is the designated hitter. Matt Holliday is in left field. Carlos Quinton is in right. Billy Butler at first. Colby Rasmussen center. Omar Infante at second. Catcher is John Hester. And Marco Scudero is the shortstop. NHL 2002, 2003, 2004. Playing a lot of... You're gaming tonight. So that's some... You're gaming. Sean Markham. Oh, Sean spells his name incorrectly. Markham. 2-4 with a 3.27 ERA. 8 games, 22 innings, 17-7, and 19 hits, walks, and strikeouts. So 24 hits and walks combined with 19 strikeouts. Three NHL games on PS2 in a row, yeah. Are those the EA Sports NHL games, or are those a different, the Sony ones? Does Sony have some? Gretzky NHL, I think, was the 989 Studios games before they got changed to Sony San Diego. 989 Studios. As Sony Interactive Studios America, 2 Extreme Blasto. That is hit out toward left field. The crowd cheers, but it'll be an easy out to left field. ESPN Extreme Games was released as 1 Extreme for greatest hits, which is weird. It's playing the EA Sports version. Nice. They did NHL Face-Off in 95. 99 Studios. Then they got rebranded to 989 Sports, where they had NHL Face-Off 99 through 2003 and then took a year off. I have NFL Extreme 1 and 2 as well. That is hit into right field, so that'll be a single. 1-out single for the Houston Astros here in the bottom of the first. Look at his high this game up. We've had a lot of runs in the games today. Matt Holliday, 5th in the National League. That is foul. Late on the swing there. Nice little chain link fence clank. That is outside for a ball. One and one. Here's the wind and the pitch. That looked inside the whole way. I'm a little surprised that they got the strike call on that one. 1 and 2. That is foul. Here comes the 1-2. That's foul as well. Another 1-2 on the way. That is off the bad part of the bat. He gets under it. And that'll be out number 2. Runner stays on first. Pitcher misses inside for a ball. 1-0. Two gone here in the home half. That is outside. Outside for a ball. Not a great plate, not a great at bat for the pitcher. Cannot be giving up 2 out walks. 3-0, got to leave the hands off the controller. He instead puts a swing on it and gets the lead for Houston into the Crawford boxes out there in left field. Houston takes a 2-1 lead on a 3-0 pitch. Now it looked like it was just right down the middle. Yeah, it was. My goodness, what a swing there. 357 feet into the cheap seats. I'm sure they're not that cheap. That'll bring up Billy Butler, 384 average. Two-one Houston now, bottom first. That was a 2-out swing as well. The first baseman will fall into right field. He'll make the catch for out number 3. 2 hits for each team, but one of Houston's 2 hits goes for 2 runs. Oakland just the 1 run, and that was on a sacrifice fly. Okay. Kila. Kaya-hui. Kaya-hui. I don't know why I always say it with an A. It's clearly an I. Kaya-hui. It's okay. We can improve. That's what we do. That's the goal. Make the adjustment. Try to learn. He'll take a ball to make it 1-0. Oh. That didn't hit him? Excuse me? Can we take a look at the replay? Where did this pitch come in? That's ridiculous. Sometimes it feels like the game's not very good, so the angle for us isn't very good. That went right through him. That should have been a hit by pitch. You could see it come out through the... All right. Well, Kaya-hui should probably be on first base, but he's not. It's 2-0. He'll take a hack at that and drive it into the stands up the third baseline. Foul. Outside for a ball. 3-1. Here comes the pitch from the righty. I think 3-1 is probably a good time to take a rip at it. I thought that was a spot, and then maybe he made a mistake. But he'll get away with that location. Full count. Winds and fires, and he will take the walk. So what probably should have been a hit by pitch ended up on first base anyway. ESPN Extreme Games. It is so wild that they released that as one extreme. In a way of indicating its predecessor to 2 extreme under the greatest hits line as the ESPN license had expired. The ESPN logo and company name were removed from the title, and the game content referring to ESPN was removed as well. Wow. Similar to Road Rash. Huh. 2 Extreme and 3 Extreme. I played one of those. I think 3 Extreme, maybe? There is a weird example of that a little bit later with the MLB 2K games where they released 2K5 with a lot of ESPN branding. And then they released a World Series edition that scrubbed all of the ESPN-ness out of it. But still has like the style and menus and stuff of it. It's very weird. We are in the top of the second, 2-1 game. Houston over Oakland. That is swung on and missed. Oakland took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Houston swung it back in their favor with a 2-run, 2-out home run. Oakland working with 1 on and 1 out. And he's going to put a good swing into this one, but the center fielder has plenty of room to work with. And that is out number 2. Brian Schneider batting .212. Zeros in the home runs, RBI, and steals categories. Not great. Well, at least put a little bump on that batting average. The runner will get around second, and they should hold him at third, and that's what they do. So it'll be a 2-out double to put 2 in scoring position. Try to set this team up for a little bit of 2-out damage here in the top half of the second. Jacoby Ellsbury is 1 for 1 with a single. He had a stolen base. Stole third, came in to score on a sacrifice fly to center field. That is a strike at the knees somehow. That is going to be that's a really nice play at the hot corner at first. Oakland picks up a couple of hits, but unfortunately they're they're too little too late. It'll stay 2-1 Houston. Rasmus, Infante, and Hester coming up. As Rasmus leads things off. Well, mercifully for the Oregon Ducks, it is over. 56-22, your final, a 34-point drubbing at the hands of the Indiana Hoosiers, who continue their miracle season They scored more points in the first half. They would have won 35-22. They didn't have to score anything in the second half. They almost scored enough in the second quarter alone. So for Oregon, it's a disappointing finish. For Indiana, though, the miracle run continues. That is in for a strike. It was a pick six on the first play of the game. Oh, that's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. That is going to be a hit, and the hitter knew it. It was a home run off the bat. You can tell that animation in the top right corner where they knew what was going on. They wanted to show something cool there, but the game cut itself off. Show that stupid train thing or whatever. 3-1 Houston over Oakland. That is rolled up the third baseline. Nice snag to fire over to first in time. Kevin Youkilis over at third. One pitch, one swing, one out in this 2-run game. John Hester. He's batting .200 with no home runs. 3 RBIs, no stolen bases. That's fouled away. So Houston is another team that has scored all of their runs via the home run. So far it's been St. Louis. They won. It was Kansas City, they lost, and now Houston, currently leading. That is in for a strike. One and two with one out. As the righty winds and fires. That is outside for a ball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, no appeal. Those are always the swings that look like they are most likely to go and break the plane. So now it's a full count here. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. So what wasn't a strike on the previous pitch was a strike on the following pitch. And kind of left it right in a good spot. It's just that the swing timing was very early on the 81 mile an hour changeup. Marco Scutaro. In all honesty, this has kind of been the game we've needed to settle things down as far as the run time is concerned. Those first couple of games took a little while because they had a lot of runs scored. A 3-1 home lead. It's a bit of good news for your host who is still getting over a cold. Here comes the 1-2. Readies, winds, and fires. That is outside for a ball. 2-2. That's fouled away. That is a foul ball as well. Up the first base line. Here's another pitch. It is hit to the... What in the world? The second baseman just ran right by it. It's going to end up being a double, though the center fielder probably could have had a little more zip on that throw. The second base position may be the single most inconsistent position on the field. He is standing right where the ball goes. I mean, what are you talking about? How did you not get that ball? Replay. So Figgins is going to come up. Where'd the ball go? It went... Okay, so the ball is not far off the ground, right here. Oops. We'll go, like, right there. Where was the player position? He should have been able to catch it if he just stands right there. It rips right to him. And instead it just goes right past for no reason. That is wild. So now it's a runner on second with 2 outs. Figgins with an opportunity to give a little insurance to Houston. Maybe give Houston a little insurance, whatever it is. That is outside for a ball. Oh, and 2. Here comes the pitch. It is high for a ball. 1-2. Houston already with a little insurance here in the bottom of the second, looking for a little bit extra with a runner in scoring position. Figgins takes a look at a 1-2 pitch. He will swing on it, and it will be out number 3 into right field, barring this game just saying, lol, no. The runner will cross home plate, but it doesn't matter. Houston scores 3 runs on 4 hits. Oakland just the 1 run on the 3 hits. They've had a couple opportunities, Oakland has, to try and close the gap, either tie the game in the previous half inning, the top of the second, or maybe even take a lead. They had runners on second and third with 2 outs. So it'll be up to Vladimir Guerrero to get things going in a positive manner. 3-1 Houston. He'll take a swing at that. Got a little under it. That pitch kind of drifted away from him. That'll be an easy out to center field. 1 gone. Kevin Youkilis got the Athletics on the board in the top of the first. A sac fly. Now they need a bloop and a blast to stay alive here in game number 3 of our quadruple header. There's your bloop. Quite literally, right back up the middle. They gave him that weird throw the glove behind the back animation, and he was not close. Adam Lind 0 for 1 with a strikeout. I believe he was called out on strikes in his at-bat. We'll see what he can do with 1 on and 1 out. And we'll take a big hack at that pitch that probably caught a little more of the plate than the pitcher wanted it to, but still gets the swing and miss, so he gets away with a location that maybe he wouldn't have otherwise. Here comes the 0-1. It is fouled away. 0-2. That's upstairs for a ball. And he'll put a swing on that. It's going to be to the second baseman. The first not in time. Safe. The turn was what I was trying to say, but I just said the first. The turn is not in time to first. It'll be just one out. This game really punishes defense when they can't come up with it, even though it's like the game's own fault. It's a nice diving stop. We don't see that enough here in MLB 11, the show on the PlayStation 2. We so often see them dive over it or slide short of it or run past it or run away from it sometimes. And sometimes when the game does that, it goes, no, you are going to be punished for not being able to turn a double play that our game is not programmed well enough to execute consistently. How could you, the player, do this? This isn't our fault for being a bad video game. Here comes the 1-0. That's rolled foul up the first base line. Here comes the 1-1. That is going to get into left field. He'll field it on one hop. That'll put a runner in scoring position. The tying run's on first. The go-ahead run steps to the plate. Keela. Oh, okay. It is because it's an A. Okay. Freaking gosh. Kaya-hui. I thought it says Kai, I think it's like K-I and I'm just reading it wrong. No, it's K-A. I can understand the Ka now. Thank goodness. See what kind of at bat he can put together with a couple runners on. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance and takes a ball to open up his second plate appearance. He will put a swing on that pitch and drive it foul. One and one. Here it comes. Low for a ball. Righty winds and fires. Foul again. Two and two. And that is foul up the first baseline. It'll stay 2-2. That pitch is foul as well. Now an off home plate. The wind and the pitch is a ball outside. It's a good break for Kaya-hui. Full count now. Runners are in motion and he works a walk in his second plate appearance as well. That's going to load the bases. So the go-ahead run now on first. A little insurance steps to the plate. Do they stick with this pitcher here? They will. It'll be Clint Barnes. Barmes? Two gone. All Houston needs is one more out. Here comes the pitch. It's low for a ball. Oh, goodness gracious. Two and 0. He'll put a swing and put a charge into that one, but it will fall well short of the fence. That will do it. Houston wins this one 3-1. Oakland made it at least a little interesting in the top half of the third, but Houston comes away with the outs that they need Kind of a story of this game. Houston or Oakland was able to put some runners in scoring position, but they didn't do a good job coming up with the big runs or the runs consistently. Houston scores all their runs via the home run, which has been at least one team in every single game so far. And Carlos Quentin is your player of the game. 1-for-1 with a home run. It was a 2-run blast. Swung the game. It was on a 3-0 count, which we usually say hands off the controller. Swung a 1-0 lead for Oakland into a 2-1 lead for Houston. Derek Lowe gets the win. He improves to 3-6. Sean Markham. Sean spells his name incorrectly. Markham is 2-5. Rasmus and Quentin, your home run hitters for Houston. It was the second for Rasmus and the 7th for Quentin. Pick up some garbage. And we will move on to our 4th and final game of the day. I believe we have just one score to catch up on. We'll catch up on everything else after this 4th and final game. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. As I am fighting both my computer and my own body. Drop on down to Rays Padres. And I forgot to catch up on that score, so my bad. The San Diego Padres are 6 games under 500 at home. And the Rays are a little bit more what you would expect. Really good at home, 14-7, and just pretty bad on the road, 8-17. To the tune of a 2 under 500 record. San Diego a little better away from home than at their home ballpark, which is a little surprising. Let's get this thumbnail changed. We welcome you to San Diego. The Rays 22-24. The Padres 23-26. Franklin Gutierrez for the Tampa Bay Rays leads off in center field, or will be playing the center field position. Kelly Johnson's at second. Jason Worth in right. Brad Hopp at first. David Murphy in left. Mike Morse at the designated hitting position. Chris Johnson is at third. Carlos Ruiz, the catcher, and Jack Wilson is the shortstop. Armando Galarraga, 6-2 with a 1.71 ERA, 9 games, 26.1 innings, pitched 22, 7, and 14 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Defensive lineup for the Padres looks like this. We'll introduce that lineup in the bottom of the first. Franklin Gutierrez, go Mariners, leads off with no home runs, 341 average. Second baby blue jerseys of the day. The first of the baby blues was unsuccessful in securing victory. That'll be rolled over and gets past the glove. Of the shortstop. Kelly Johnson steps up to the plate from the left-hand side. He'll be working with one on and nobody out. That is a big swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside, or at a pitch on the outside. Oh, and 1. That's outside to make it 1-1. Pitcher winds and fires, drives that straight into the air. Should be out number 1 in foul territory. It indeed is. That was some of the most demoralizing outs we've seen today. Was Detroit getting so many of those. I'll check on the runner at first. He's safe, as he always is. Pitcher nods his head in approval. That is inside for a ball. The 1-0, winds and fires. It'll be hit to the third baseman. Throws to second. Makes the turn at first and out for the double play. So Tampa Bay picks up a hit to lead things off. It's a bat out in foul territory and a double play to erase it. Let's get you set with this San Diego Padres lineup. It's led off by center fielder Andrew McCutchen, designated hitter Ryan Sweeney, third baseman David Wright, right fielder Justin Upton. Jared Saltalamacchia is the catcher. James Loney is at first. Bobby Abreu in left. J.J. Hardy at shortstop. Brendan Ryan at second base. That is your Padres lineup. Phil Hughes is 3-5 with a 5.76 ERA. 9 games, 25 innings, 30, 11, and 20 hits, walks, and strikeouts. There's a defensive lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays. Andrew McCutchen steps up to lead things off. That will be a strike to get things led off against McCutchen. 0-1. Righty winds and fires. It's fouled up the third base line. Jammed him inside to make it 0-2. Pitcher shakes off the catcher. Readies, winds, and fires. Stays way up there for a ball. Pitcher's ready with a 1-2. And McCutchen fouls it off. So it's been take foul for McCutchen in this one. That is fouled away. Probably the most defensive swing there. Just trying to stay alive. That is low for a ball. Two and two. The righty winds. The righty fires. It is low. Just missed a strike at the knees, McCutchen. Good take there. Gives a full count. And a payoff pitch upcoming. He will put a charge into that one, but it is right to the center fielder. I guess not really right to him. He made a move, but plenty of time to get there for a pretty routine catch out there. Ryan Sweeney's batting .211. No home runs with 11 RBI. He'll go to work with one out and nobody on. Here comes pitch number one, fouled away. I thought that might have been a little bit low. He wasn't going to do a whole lot with it. I think he'd let that go and just take the result, ball or strike. Instead, it's 0-1 after the foul ball. That one stays inside too much and misses the zone. 1-1. Here comes a pitch. It's inside for a ball. 2-1 is ready and on its way. Gets all of the knees for the strike. Makes it 2-2. And I think explains a little bit better why he might have swung at that first pitch. Here comes the 2-2. It is way high. Another full count. Second straight batter that's looked at a full count. The payoff pitch to the last batter went for an out to center field, but maybe this one's different. Let's find out. Righty readies, winds and fires. That will be out to left field. Okay, so it was kind of a similar thing where, I mean, that was a pretty hittable pitch. I'm sure he'd want that one back to try and drive it to a different part of the field. Left fielder got a good jump on it and able to make the catch. Not the most comfortable inning for this Tampa Bay Rays starting pitcher, but he's been able to come up with the outs. That one's way inside for a ball, 1-0. One and is hit out to left field. He's got it to make the play. Quick top of the first for Tampa Bay. And quick bottom, what? Quick bottom of the first for San Diego. Sorry, I got turned around there. So we'll head to the top of the second. Scoreless. Swung on and missed. See if any of these offenses can get anything going. Tampa Bay had the hit, but it was erased by the double play. And a quick exodus for the San Diego Padres, top of the order. That sails inside, 3-1. Righty winds and fires. That is hit out into right center field. That is probably going to get all the way to the wall. It will, just barely. It'll be an easy stand-up double for the Tampa Bay Rays, and quickly they are in business with a runner in scoring position. It's a nice adjustment. Pulled the bat in towards him. Able to get that hit. I'm not a lefty, so I don't understand how. Yeah, flip it. Righty winds and fires the first pitch in for a strike. Ooh, that's a bad out. It's a really nice pitch from the Padres. It stayed up in the zone, like just a nice ride through the zone. Got him to swing at it and pop it up. It's just a brutal out for the Rays. I think it makes it a little more brutal when you have so little offense in this game. It's just one out. Not the worst situation in the world, but especially following the double. But that's going to get down, and they will send him around third. Center fielder comes up with the ball, throws it in, and it's going to be way too late. It'll be Rays 1, Padres nothing. Chris Johnson batting .283. The Rays not good at home or on the road. The Padres not really great at home, so it's kind of a weakness versus a weakness. If this game were the other way around, it'd be like, okay, probably wouldn't take the home team, but Only because I think Tampa Bay was, what, 14-7? That is low for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. It is outside. 2-1. Two one, misses low but inside for a ball. 3-1 now. The 3-1 is smashed into left field. That will be a single. It'll advance the lead runner to second. They'll kind of work station to station. Carlos Ruiz batting .280 with no home runs, 5 RBI and no stolen bases. That is a low for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. It is low for a ball. 2-0. 2 on with just 1 out. Tampa Bay has already scored a run here in the top half of the second. 1-0. Our fourth and final game of the day. Here comes the righty's pitch. It is right to the shortstop. Nice read by both runners on base, not get doubled up. Jack Wilson will step up. No home runs, 3 RBIs. He does have a stolen base with that .275 average. The righty fires that low for a ball. Ooh. Wilson surprised at that call. He looks at the umpire and shakes his head. That was a pretty brutal strike call. That was low in the zone. It is just strike one, so it's a 1-1, but it does flip from a 2-0 to a 1-1. Wilson fouls that off to make it 1-2. Here's the pitch. It's swung on. It's going to get past the diving third baseman. They will send the runner around third. The left fielder's up at the throw. It's pretty strong. The catcher gets pulled off the plate a little bit. That was a funky looking play. He is safe at the plate even though the throw beat him there. Let's take a look at it here when we can. That throw wasn't terrible. It was kind of a bold send because if we look at it, it doesn't get deep. And the throw is going to beat him there, but for whatever reason, and not only it pulls him up the line a little bit, he takes that extra step, I guess. I guess I can understand it. It looks a little less funky in the replay. The dive still looks weird, I guess, because it just does this weird thing where it turns him so quickly. Whoop. I guess I didn't realize that there would naturally be that extra step. And I forget sometimes how quickly they do that turn dive. We see it at second base pretty frequently, which is weird. It's cost a couple of teams some stolen bases that they should have had. Tampa Bay puts up its second run of the inning, and they do it with 2 out damage this time. Still a runner in scoring position with 2 on. First pitch is a ball. Here comes the 1-0. It is hit. Right to the shortstop. He will firmly grasp it and fire it over to first. Tampa Bay has recorded 5 hits. They've only scored 2 runs. Upton, Saltalamacchia, and Lonnie coming up for San Diego in the home half. 3 stolen bases is apparently second on the Diamondbacks, which is irrelevant because he plays for the Padres. He will lead things off for the Padres here and put a charge into that one. That one's going to get out to left field. He will take the big turn, and he's going to go for it. Left fielder comes up with it. A little more air under the throw than I think he wanted. If that's maybe a little more of a frozen rope, he's able to get there. But he also was running away from the second baseman and threw it, whatever. San Diego looking for a big strike back inning here. Saltalamacchia can cut that lead in half or tie it with a big swing. Oh boy. Oh boy, the right fielder comes up with it. The throw is going to be way late. It is cut off, but it does hold the runner at just first base. James Looney steps up. San Diego, they strike back very quickly there. That one gets a strike at the letters. 0-1. They are going to put the runner in motion. It is a swing and a miss. The throw down to second is an out, so that's a big break for the Rays. Maybe a little aggressive on the base running by San Diego. But I get trying to get back into the game as quickly as possible, put him in a good position. I don't know if I like out number 1 being at second base, though. That is outside. And it wasn't a good swing by the hitter either. Like, kind of everything that went wrong. It was a bad swing on a strike that throws things off, and then the throw down was in time. And then it's a strikeout. Whew. 2 outs during that 1 at bat, and it makes this inning feel very different all of a sudden. Really late swing, timing on the 4-seam fastball at the bottom of the zone. It's a nice location, good pitch. I'm going to bring up Bobby Abreu. 258 average, a couple of home runs, good chunk of RBI as well. So now working with 2 outs. Gets the call on the outside corner. 0-1. That is low for a ball. 1-1. That is hit out towards right field. Right fielder with plenty of room to work with. He will make the grab. And will look like a very promising inning for the Padres. Quickly turned sour after that stolen base. Oof. Stolen base out. You get the strikeout pretty quickly after that. And then a fly out. It's 2-1 now. It feels like they were getting ready to do some damage. Kelly Johnson steps up for the Rays. Now in the top half of the third. Lead by 1. Here's the pitch. It is in for a strike. Catcher set up a little more inside to the left-handed hitter, but the pitch drifted over the plate a little too much. Called strike. 0-1. That is on the outside edge for a strike. 0-2. So working west to east here against this left-handed hitter. And has him in the hole. 0-2. That is outside for a ball. Pitcher winds, fires outside. That misses wide. 2-2. That is, oh man, they called strike at the letters. It's been a bit of a funky spot here and there, but they are going to give him a pretty favorable location. It was there. Two-seam at 87, has 2 inches of break and gets a pretty good chunk of the plate and a good distance between that very top bar and where that pitch was. Strikeout for the Rays for out number 1. As the right-handed pitcher winds and fires low for a ball. And he is, on the edge for strike. Makes it 1-1, 1 gone with a 1-run lead here in the top of the third. Big swing and a miss there. One and two. That is rolled foul. That contact is rolled over to the shortstop, who makes the play in plenty of time. Nice reach over there by the first baseman. It wasn't a great throw, but had enough time to... It was fine. Everything ended up fine. That is inside for a ball. That misses low and outside for a ball. 2-0. The righty winds and fires. Ooh, there's what you're looking for. We saw the second baseman just totally run away from a play. Like right in the same spot. Wild. That is hit to the second baseman. Okay. So apparently it was just was it the Oakland second baseman that ran away from it? It was in the last game. I just don't remember exactly who it was. Brendan Ryan stepping up for the Padres. A 1-run game here in the bottom of the third. That is outside for a ball. That is a strike at the knees. That is rolled over. Shortstop comes over to clean it up and throws him out at first. Ooh, is there anybody? No, not really. Ooh, okay. Catcher, you gotta That's a bunt down up the third base line. The catcher's going to get it. And not in time. Safe. Safe up the line. Wow. That bunt was placed down perfectly. Didn't really know who was going to try and get it. It was kind of just stuck between the catcher and the third baseman. Catcher obviously had the better shot at it, but he had to come up and find the angle to throw. Ugh. Ugh. That was gross. I was on myself. Gross. They are putting the runner in motion. The throw down is not in time. Safe. Uh-oh. That doesn't bode well for me. We were looking good. Some of us might need to get out of here. That is... It's going to be into right field. The right fielder's going to come up with the throw. It's going to be late. Oh... This game is going to give us a stupid extra innings pain. Oh. I should be so much blah. Learn to talk. Should be so much more excited. It was a 2-out single into right field. That pitch stays way upstairs. Neither of these teams have been particularly good offensively, so... Kind of like, what? Well, maybe San Diego gets out of this with a win. That's not a good start. A pitch way high, a pitch way inside. Makes it 2-0. That gets a call on the outside. Strike number 1. And here comes the 2-1 with 2 gone. And is outside for a ball. All right, full count here to the right-handed batter. Here comes a payoff pitch. Oh, they called him out on strikes. Of course they called him out on strikes at the knees. Oh, I don't need this to go to extra innings. Game makes me miserable. Miserable. Like it actively is a pain. It should be so much more exciting, but when teams play like this, it's garbage. So we enter the top of the 4th. That wasn't a strike. That wasn't a strike. Where is your zone? I'm like actively irritated. That's fouled off. Ugh. 0-2. Be a little easier to deal with. We've had some pretty good games today. Everything's ended in regulation, which has been nice. We had a couple of games that went a little bit long just because of the number of runs scored. But extra innings games where teams aren't playing particularly well aren't the most fun. And they're even a little bit less fun when maybe you're the host and don't feel 100% and you're tired of blowing your nose. But it's too late to take Dayquil. That's a horrible swing. Here comes a 1-2. That is way outside for a ball. Makes it 2-2 as we are just underway here in the top of the 4th inning. That is low for a ball. Oh my God. Can we sneeze, please? I don't know what happened. I felt bad for like a couple of days. Took a couple days away from stream. That is okay. First baseman got a hold. That looked so far behind. What happened there? Okay, all right. Craig Kimbrell, 7 games with a 2-2 record, no saves. A 5.63 ERA, 8 innings, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. It just looked weird because they went to a different animation than I think the game was anticipating. 1 for 1 with a single. He knocked in a run. See what he can do here with nobody out, or nobody on, excuse me, and 1 out. That pitch stays way upstairs for a ball, 1-0. That is hit out towards left field. It is going, it is going, it is, and out as he runs into the NL ERA leaderboard. Abreu makes a nice catch. Some of those are a little tricky to call because you just don't know. We don't really know what the wind situation is. We had one that just kind of kept going in one of the games today. Like it was the game. One of the games. It was St. Louis and Detroit, where it just caught like an updraft or whatever, and it just kept going. Whereas that one, it's a little trickier to tell if it's going to make it out or if it's going to just be an out or whatnot. So 1-0 with 2 gone here. Big swing and a miss there. Kind of a good swing. That spot at the knees has been a little weird. 1-1. That is scorched up the first baseline. That is okay. That should have been an out. Second time we've seen that in a game in a row where the fielder runs away from it, and it's. We're gonna look at the replay, and it's not gonna be way over the head. That it's gonna land right where he was standing. He was standing what? Okay, it's maybe a step and a half. He walks right by the location. It's gonna land right about here. Yeah, okay. We're right there. He runs right by it. Good game, everybody. A quality video game on the PlayStation 2. Oops. Strike called. Anyway, so I was feeling fine, and then I got worse. But, like, still feel pretty good. The worst is just that I can't stop blowing my freaking nose. Leave me alone, snot. Come on. 1-2 is the count. A runner on first, and that is hit foul. 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. Tampa Bay had a 2-0 lead. They gave up 1 run in the first. They gave up 1 run in the third. If we hold steady with our patterns, we will lose. We will watch the Padres walk this off in the 5th. Not exactly what we're looking for, but maybe at least we have a time limit. Tampa Bay has knocked out 6 hits. They've only been able to score 2 runs. San Diego 2 runs on 4 hits. Upton, Saltalamacchia, and Lonnie coming up. Upton's 1 for 1 with a double and a run. Oh, Upton puts a swing in. Gets a little too far under it. It's one pitch, one swing, one out. Franklin Gutierrez makes the catch out there. Jared Saltalamacchia has a single and an RBI. Ooh, okay. A little surprised to not see him be a little more aggressive at that pitch. It got the bottom of the zone for strike number one, but that is way outside for a ball. Ooh. There's a big hero swing. When is that coming down? 3 rays entered the frame before the ball re-entered the frame. It's 1-2. Here comes the pitch. It's high and outside for a ball. Here comes the 2-2. That's low to fill up the count. Payoff pitch on the way, and it is hit. Second baseman's going to cover it. He'll fire over to first. That'll be in time for the out. See, Tampa Bay is going to head to the bullpen to bring up Jordan Walden. 5 games, 1-0 record, 4 innings pitched with no ERA, no saves, a walk, and a strikeout. So they do hit the bullpen with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. See what they can do with James. Name, I just, every time I say it, I feel like I hear the announcer say, the PA guy say the opposite. It's tough. Oh my God. Why did you go to the bullpen to watch him throw a 2-0 count? They're not even close. That is 3 balls, no strikes. Now, we did see a 3-0 2-run home run earlier today, which was surprising. Because every time it's 3-0, it's, hey, hands off the controller. Let it go. He sets up inside again. That one drifts over the plate into a hittable location, but it's the correct call to just let it go. And that is ball 4. So issues the walk with 2 outs. They went to the bullpen. He immediately throws 5 pitches, 4 of them not really anywhere near the zone, and the only one that he threw that got called a strike was a pitch that was so bad it was good. And to bring up Bobby Abreu, whose season is, for the season, is averaging .254. That's a strike. It's called strike. I don't even think that's not even on the, whatever it's called, the check swing. It is just straight up a strike. Ooh, he gets a pitch to ride that outside edge. Ugh. Oh, 0-2. That one stays just outside. Good eye by Abreu. Maybe even great eye by Abreu. One and two. Oh my goodness. That pitch was so bad, and he swung at it to end the inning. This game is breaking me. Its brokenness is breaking me. Why would you swing at that garbage? Is what I'll be yelling at myself a whole lot starting March 27th or 6th or whatever stupid flippin' day it is. It's the 26th because I was going to stream 007 on Friday, and that's the 27th. He's going to put a bunt down. It is going to stay fair and not there in time. Okay, good God. Wasn't a terrible bunt, and did keep it in the keep it fair. Just couldn't quite get it up the line enough as the netting disappears. That is foul. Now, I will say I am pre-irritated because I don't like not feeling well. So we're a little agitated on that one. So we're like predestined to be annoyed, but boy, when this game, some of the decisions it makes, because it doesn't adjust its decision making based on the fact that it's supposed to just be a 3-inning game. I tried to break this game broke me, and it keeps breaking me. Over and over and over and over and over again. It's brutal. That is rolled into center field. So Tampa Bay puts a runner on with one out. Padres pitcher winds and fires, pulls back the swing. Take a ball outside. It's 1-0. That's fouled away. That is swung on and missed. So it's 1-2. That'll be hit into right field. They will send the runner just a second, but they're going to bobble the ball. He's going to try to get to third. He's not going to be there in time. This game is so dumb. It's so stupid. He went to a full stop. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Tampa Bay. No wonder you're so bad on the road. Holy crap, game. So it gets out into right field. It's not deep enough to send him immediately, but he bobbles the ball a little bit, but not enough. I mean, we see this animation constantly with the infielders. Constantly. And he has just too good of an arm. The ball beats him there. Even with the horrible animation, look at where he catches it. He catches it low. They bring it all the way up and then re-engage the animation. Still out.
Okay, let's play ball.
And now it's 2 gone in the top of the 5th.
Strike one.
It's a strike called at the top of the zone. Here's the 0-1.
Nope, that's
Inside for a ball to make it 1-1. Swung on and missed. Big old hero swing on the edge of the zone there. Here comes the 1-2. What are you swinging at? Oh my God. Why I'm so irritated. 8 hits and you can't do anything. Anything. I can't believe they sent him to third. The pitch misses low. San Diego can't get any hits. And Tampa Bay is picking up a ton, but can't come up with that key hit. Of course, they did have a 2-0 lead. That's a strike. No? Okay. I don't get to sneeze either, so now we're extra grumpy. Fouled away. Here's the 2-2. It's rolled over. Pitcher doesn't make the play. Second baseman makes the barehanded throw over. And that'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. This game is going to go so long, isn't it? This stupid game. Every once in a while, it just goes like, yeah, you can watch 8 innings. Just have like a big stupid game for way too long. Now, San Diego scored in the bottom of the 1st, the bottom of the 3rd. If they are able to keep that going, I predicted earlier that it would be the bottom of the 5th that they would walk it off. That helps the prophecy. A runner on first. The winning run on first. Now, I don't know how fast he is, but I'm curious if the Padres send him to try and steal second. Andrew McCutcheon. He almost ripped that up that third base line, but it does sail foul. 0-1. Here comes the righty. Fouled away. 0-2. Oof, that's a bold take on the outside. That looked close from our angle. Might have looked a little worse if we were more straight on. A little higher, a little more straight on. Would be helpful. 1-2. They put a runner in motion. He's safe. He is safe. I thought he was going to be out because it looked like the throw was going to beat him, but with how bad this game is in just about every facet and how unfluid it is, they'll put him at second base. A 2-2 game, 2-2 count. It's going to get all the way to the wall. The winning run's 90 feet away. Oh my gosh. The prophecy could come true. McCutcheon fouls that away. It's ball 4. Okay. Not great, but kind of also okay. With how bad this game is at double plays, it's okay. The fact that there is a double play in order kind of sucks for the Padres. I don't know. There's good and bad to it, but only because it's this specific game. Ryan Sweeney's 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. They will check on the runner at first. That almost got away. That almost got away from the first baseman. He's safe. There is no reason for them to check on the runner. They have never had a successful pickoff. This batter just needs to get the air under the ball. Foul. Oh and 1. Crowd is hyped. They are ready to watch a walk-off. That's foul at the third base line. Oh and 2. Here comes the line and the pitch. Foul again. Here's the pitch. It is hit. First baseman dives past it. We're going home, everybody. We're going home. And I prophesized it. Prophesized it. The Padres scored in the first and the third, and if the pattern held, they would score a walk-off in the fifth, and that's exactly what happened. Thanks in part to the stolen base. Andrew McCutcheon, 1 for 2. He worked a walk. He had a single. A little surprising that he's the player of the game, but whatever. Oh, also, they didn't even score in the first or... Okay. I forgot the first inning was super quick. It was 2 in the second, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. All right, well, never mind. Craig Kimbrell gets the win. He's 3 and 2. Jordan Walden gets the loss. He's 1 and 1. No saves, no home runs. And we are getting the heck out of here. And hopefully, I am back to normal on Sunday, so I don't have to keep muting the microphone and unmuting the microphone and turning my camera on and turning my camera off. And my stupid desktop can frickin' work. Because I was going to put my little profile thing, the little drawing of me. That way there was at least something. But no, it didn't want to work for some stupid reason. Let's go ahead and sim to the dates. Ooh, Mariners fall 1-0. Bad news for them. We didn't catch up on anything because I forgot to. Pirates over the Twins 5-0. We watched the Astros beat the Athletics 3-1. Nationals over the Orioles 3-2. Braves over the Red Sox 2-1. Marlins over the Guardians 2-1. White Sox over the Rockies 5-0. Phillies over the Brewers 2-0. And Mets over the Angels 3-2. Yankees beat the Dodgers 1-0. Padres over the Rays 3-2. Giants over the Rangers 3-2. Diamondbacks beat the Mariners 1-0. Who's the team I'm thinking of in the West? The Diamondbacks? 26 and 24. 27 and 23. Yeah, so that's a good win. It's a good win for the Diamondbacks. They pick up a game because of the help that they get from the White Sox. So that makes it interesting. We'll have 4 more games of action for you tomorrow here on, or no, Sunday on the channel, even though that pitcher has a 16 ERA. Mainly because the Packers will play tomorrow night. Sneeze. Oh, for the love of God, sneeze. Okay. We're taking tomorrow off. They'll have a taste test in the morning, no video in the evening. The Packers play in the playoffs. Hopefully they will beat the Bears or the season is over. which would be unfortunate because it would mean that Bears fans, one, will be obnoxious all off season, and two, more importantly, that stupid quote that idiot Bears coach said about beating Matt LaFleur twice a year technically is true, and you know that idiot Bears fans who don't understand what success is like won't shut up about it. I'm going to be in a good mood. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm not. The way that they won that, I can't do it. But we'll take tomorrow. We gotta go get an oil change, so we'll do that, and then I'll probably just relax. Hopefully, that'll get whatever the rest of this is out of my system. Ideally, Sunday I'll stream at noon. I'll stream something, or maybe there will just be a video up, and then Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we'll go ahead and be back in the baseball. Technically, we're behind, but I'm not going to push myself too hard to catch back up just yet. We'll figure it out, even if it kind of spills into some MLB The Show 26 coverage. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. I mean, it is this game, so that's kind of makes it the worst thing in the world, but it is what it is. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. A free and easy way to help the channel out is to give that video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and you want more. Welcome on it. Ring the bell if you'd like to be notified. I'm so tired, apparently. I've completely fallen apart. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe, ring the bell, give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Good night, everybody. We'll see you Sunday at 6 for more.